AFC West, the most fun division to talk about.
Really great. You watch any night game, right? Could be any of these four teams playing each other.
Are the Chiefs and Chargers the two best teams in the league?
In the league?
Yeah.
I like the Raiders. I have the Raiders winning the division with 11 wins.
Wow. Really?
I don't know what's going on in people's heads. Like people...
What's going on in your head?
Well, if you ask most football fans who won that game the last week, Raiders or Chargers, I think most people would say the Chargers. They didn't win that game. The Raiders won the game. And if Carr doesn't spike the ball and they lose it down there and they were, 5 yards, 6 yards away from going to overtime against a team that made it to the Super Bowl. And now they add Jones and they're doing great. They extend Carr. They add Chandler Jones, who's a pressure guy. They add Devontae Adams. I like this team a lot. Let's forget about the Gruden stuff. Like they had their president quit on them. They had obviously the Ruggs thing was terrible. I think they're back on track.
I have them really fourth in the division.
Do you really?
Their over-under is 8.5. They're 7-1 to win the division.
7-1. I've seen that since February, and that's what I was like. I have to take that.
6 or less wins, plus 270.
Oh, come on.
Best record in the league, 60-1. 10 plus wins, plus 150.
Worst record in the league, you think? Worst?
No, best record, 60-1.
Oh, you're going. Okay.
10 plus wins, plus 150. Their odds are all over the place.
I like this team.
Here's what I don't like. Loaded with the playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
I have them at 9 elite players, including the kicker and the punter, who I think are both really good. But no offensive line. Their offensive line is a bottom 5 terrible offensive line.
Okay, but it wasn't.
And that's the part that worries me. And then you have the Waller thing where
I like to see him play.
You pencil him in as, it's Waller. He's one of the best tight ends in the league. He was kind of up and down last year.
Yeah.
He wants a contract. He just switched agents.
I think Renfro does better than Devontae Adams, but I think they put it together.
I do love Renfro. You and I both are huge Renfro guys.
What are we going to bid on him?
So here's the thing. So you bring in McDaniels. I see the whole case. Everyone else.
You hate McDaniel. You have to hate McDaniel.
I don't know how good he is.
I forgot about
I don't know how
this.
good he is.
All the Belichick people have to fail after. I get it now. That's okay.
No, that's not how we feel. We're not spiteful like that.
I see.
Josh helped us win some Super Bowls.
I see.
I just don't understand the how people can just discount how bad their offensive line is. Like that should matter.
It was bad last year.
And also like they blew 3 Gruden drafts there where multiple first round picks were just not on the team anymore for a variety of reasons. Where you have, I think Jacobs is probably the best one. Max Crosby was a later
Crosby and
draft.
Renfro. That's why you can't get on their draft too much because it's Leatherwood getting cut and all those other guys. But at least I think that's the reason to like the Raiders. They didn't have draft picks this year to screw up. They had no first and second round picks, so they're free of that and free of a lot of just garbage.
I worry about receivers switching teams. Just point to me all the time that it's actually worked out in an awesome way. For some reason, it's always weird.
Not too many. I think Adams and Tyreek Hill's numbers go down, but I think their team.
It's funny. I'm under on them. I think they're 8-9 or worse.
Well, here's the thing about the AFC West, because you can point to their schedule is tough. First 5. Everybody's got a chunk of 5 games that are just brutal.
Yeah,
just like take the month off, forget it. Who can get through them is the question. But yeah, if you say the Raiders are in last, I'm not going to scream you're nuts. I think Denver's in last. People like them. People putting them in the Super Bowl.
I don't feel that way.
No.
But I do think one of those 2 teams is probably the 7th playoff team in the AFC.
One of
Denver. Like I think we get 3 out of this.
Oh, you do?
AFC team. Yeah.
So Cincinnati or Baltimore.
I have Cincinnati in.
Oh, so you don't have Baltimore in?
No, I think Cincinnati wins the division and Baltimore makes it 2. So I have 2 in that. 1 in AFC South.
What? Oh, so then you can't.
1 in AFC East. And then I got 3 in the AFC West.
Well, not one wild card.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it comes down to Denver versus Vegas. And I just feel a little better about Denver, even though I'm with you.
So you're not a Charger guy then?
Well, no, I'm in on the Chargers. I got 3 AFC teams. Let's go. KC, 10.5.
I see what the hell's going on here.
This is one of my locks. To the division, plus 155. 10 plus wins is minus 210, so no value there. Best record's 9-1. I kind of like that. Mm-hmm. AFC number 1 seed is plus 650. Last year they were 12-5, and they beefed up their defense. Karlaftis and Duffy, 2 rookies that are coming and helping right away. Apparently, there's been a Frank Clark comeback, which I'm excited about.
Yep.
Chris Jones is in the middle now. I think their defense is going to be better than people think. And I've said this on the last 3 pods, so I'll just say it quickly again. Mahomes and a great offensive line, I'm in. Mahomes with time, I don't care who his receivers are.
Yeah.
He's going to have 5 seconds to throw, and these guys are going to be running around, and then he'll buy another 2 seconds, and just over and over again. We haven't seen him with time in 4 years.
Doesn't this team have 3 seasons every year? It's like the first 4, like they have no defense. Oh, they can't. Well,
Right.
They're not going to last in January with this defense. Then the defense figures it out. And then Mahomes will go like 5 games where he has like 7 total touchdowns. Like, whoa, what's this? Why can't they score?
Yeah.
If you look at like some of their wins, they don't have to put up 40 to win the game. And like, granted, they played the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, and they have a few wins like that last year in the 12-5. And I know they have a tough start. Arizona Chargers, Colts.
I don't think at Arizona is a tough game.
No,
I just
know,
don't.
but if you look at the first 7, it's tough.
Yeah.
I think he's like 22-4 in September, Mahomes, since he started. Like no one bothers me. Like they're going to be a favorite at Arizona. They're going to be a favorite.
So
all
we're
these
both
games.
in on KC.
I love Kansas City.
Great. Because I made this case the other day about how I feel like this could be his 2022 Warriors Curry season, where everything's built around him now.
Yeah.
Don't be sarcastic.
I'm not sarcastic.
Everything's built around him. It's like, hey, you know what we should do? We should be able to block for Pat Mahomes.
Right.
And you know what? Maybe we'll spend the money there and the capital there, and then we'll just get good to decent receivers. They'll get the Juju comeback year. Running backs are okay. But really, this is Mahomes' team now.
Sure.
He's just going to go nuts.
It's kind of like Barry Sanders, right? Like, if they had an offensive line. It's like, no, he improvises so much, it might screw him up. So,
right.
Yeah, just get open 5 seconds
do
later.
Stuff. I think he's going to have the most fun he's had in his career this season.
Yeah.
I also think the old chip on the shoulder from he blows the Cincy game. I mean, the weirdest hour and a half of his career.
Right.
And then it's this whole, now it's Josh Allen's league, and now it's Herbert MVP, Herbert, huge Herbert jerk circle. By the way, I'm in it. Don't make room for me in the Herbert jerk circle. But it's everybody else and not Mahomes.
He's not overrated, but he's overpraised. I think Herbert.
Yeah,
bit,
I just don't forget how awesome Pat Mahomes is, just because he sucked in that Bengals game.
Also, if you gave Pat Mahomes an extra down to throw, like that Staley is nuts. They're going for it on 4th down every time. So I feel like Herbert has more chances to succeed because they go for it on 4th down. Like not as much. The older coaches don't do that as much.
I think the Chargers have the best roster in the league. And I love how they beefed up at all the positions that actually matter. Their over-under is 10. The over-under actually moved. It was 9.5. They actually bumped it to 10. It's still minus 140. You get it for the division for plus 240. You get it for best record for 16-1. You can get them AFC number 1 seed plus 950. And look, I think both of these teams could go like 12-5, 13-4.
Really? Wow.
I'm more nervous about Staley than anything with the Chiefs. Yeah. I thought Staley was appalling last year. Not just the game management, but their defense was bad. And I know they brought in Khalil Mack, and they brought in J.C. Jackson. I get it.
Tell me why he's at the top for Coach of the Year.
Was he?
He is right now.
Brandon Staley?
Yeah.
I feel like he's the weak link on that team.
That's what I'm thinking. And meanwhile, you can get the Bills coach for like 15-1 or something. It's really bizarre. Like, wouldn't you rather have Sean McDermott than Staley? Yeah, Staley drives me a little bit nuts.
Chargers most fun team in the league.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, there's going to be no week where it's like, the Chargers are on one of the TVs.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, put the Chargers on.
Yeah. But there's also, you got to think, first of all, there's 2 things. There's also always like a kicking thing that screws them up.
Yeah,
or
there's
something
a baggage.
Really stupid. Something, the team doctor, whatever it might be. Second thing is
the team doctor stabbing the quarterback.
Yeah, you can't give them a decisive home win in any of these.
Thank you.
That's it.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
You
they
can't
have
do
no
it.
home field advantage at all.
It matters after a while.
The Chiefs have a home field advantage.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it didn't work out in that Bengals game, but for the most part, it's nice to have your fans cheer for you at home.
Yeah.
Sal and I live in LA. Nobody cares about the Chargers
at
here.
Kansas City. Home versus Vegas. There's going to be a lot of Raiders fans. A lot of Raiders fans.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Jacksonville. They don't.
How about Denver week 6?
Denver for sure. There will be.
Seattle, Kansas City will have them.
For sure. Miami will have. I mean, there's a lot of Miami fans out here. The Rams is just,
the Rams is basically a home game for the Rams.
The Rams have 10 games at SoFi this year. Yeah.
If Justin Herbert was the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, would he be the biggest star in the league?
Interesting.
I think he would.
You think he's been Mike Trouted a little bit out here in
A little bit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares about the Chargers?
Well,
he might
it's
as well
early.
be playing in like
I
Mexico
don't know.
City.
I go two ways with him because I think he gets a lot of praise, a ton of praise. A lot of people are leaning on him as MVP at 10-1.
He's very fun when you've bet on the Chargers and they're down 17 in the third quarter, and it just seems like he can bring them back in like five throws.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a Mahomes quality to him. I don't trust the coaching infrastructure. I do not trust the baggage that they've had with all of these dumb losses they've had over the years and the lack of home field. So my edge is to the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs to win that division.
The one thing I'll say that people love the J.C. Jackson. By the way, I think he made top 15 or top 20 just basically off last year in the NFL 100. They love the Khalil Mack trade, but they were 31st in the league against the run. And they have some run stoppers in Joseph Day and Austin Johnson they picked up from the Rams and Giants. So that, I think, they'll be better there. And Bosa, and like if you say blue chip, red chip, you can go
Bosa's
on and on with Chargers.
Both Bosas are in there.
But it doesn't ever add up with them. And I'm telling you, that home field matters. They're miserable after a while.
They were the highest team in my rankings with chippers, 34.5. And they had Herbert, Eckler, Williams, Allen, Lindsey, Slater. No, just add it up with the stupid scoring system. Okay. Mack, Bosa, Jackson, Samuel is probably the best nickelback in the league, and James. Linebacker's not awesome. Like they picked up Kyle Van Noy, and people were talking about and they've got Kyle Van Noy. It's like Kyle Van Noy was terrible last year for the Patriots. I don't know if you watched the Buffalo game when they did whatever the fuck they wanted against us. So, all right, Denver, quick. Denver's over-under is 9.5.
I don't know why I don't like them as much.
AFC number 1 seed plus 750. 10 plus wins minus 134. Playoffs minus 146.
Yeah, that's
I just don't think, I've said this already, I'll make it quick. I don't think Wilson is the 2014-15 Wilson anymore.
I don't either.
And I don't think that's a controversial thing to say. I don't think he moves around the same way.
Right.
When he's more in the pocket, like all that stuff. The fact that they lost Tim Patrick already, they have 2 receivers. Judy, we've never seen really play. He's taunted us.
You can't say he didn't have receivers the last few years.
Yeah,
right?
He had Metcalf and Lockett.
Yeah, and Metcalf was better with Geno Smith. I know it's a small sample size, but everyone, you think you're getting exactly the 6 year ago version of Russell Wilson. I don't think it's the case at all.
There is this thing with quarterbacks, though, when your team hasn't had a quarterback for a while and then you get somebody, a really good or super competent guy. It is fun. It does like completely transform
the clubhouse. Sure. Yeah.
It's like when CBS got Letterman and they had nobody could even remember who was on there. And then it's like, we have Letterman and there's this stability and credibility that just lifts everything. And Wilson's at least going to do that. Where you go from Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater and all the dudes they had and broken down Peyton Manning, and he'll have some throws in the first month and be like, oh my God, we have Russell Wilson. This is our guy. So that's why I'm going slight over.
Relief, I think so. I don't know. I think because they have Randy Gregory and he kind of screwed over the Cowboys and have a little bit of a, I don't know how that's going to work out.
They have some bangers on D.
Yeah.
I have five like legit guys on that defense. Jones, Gregory, Johnson, Surtain, and Simmons. Surtain, by the end of this season, he might be, other than Jalen Ramsey, the best corner for all we know.
There's good numbers on his to be a top interception guy.
Yeah.
I think so.
I like him. All the people like Lindsey Jones, who works for the Ringer now, and she's gone to like every Broncos preseason, and she was like, that guy's Champ Bailey.
Right.
Like Champ Bailey was an iconic generational quarterback. And she's like, they've recreated him now with Surtain.
Now, is Javonte Williams the most hyped? I don't want to say overhyped, but hyped.
I love him.
Why though? What's indicating he's not going to split carries again with Melvin Gordon?
He's going to be super disappointing in fantasy.
Yeah.
I had him last year. All I was doing was rooting for them to put him in. I had him on both teams.
And then Melvin Gordon had three big games, and then the stats even.
It's like, here comes Melvin Gordon for 3 yards. Like, could you put the other guy in?
Right.